as a married couple, as artists, because we really stay out of each other's studios. We really
I had to teach that.
We really work independently. I think that a lot of people assume that we collaborate all the time, and whereas Yoko is amazing as a sounding board, and I always bounce ideas off of her, her studio space is hers and mine is mine.
And our work too, that he makes such an abstract artwork and start with a concept, and my work, or at least the end results, are always so narrative that we talk about a collaboration once in a while, but it's really hard to take the balance in between, in the midpoint. I came from a middle-class family in middle Tokyo. So I grew up in an apartment unit on the 12th floor of a company apartment, and everyone was living in an apartment. Nobody was living in an independent house in Tokyo. So our living space was so small, and my mom collected ceramics ever since I can remember, and I got the impression she valued the ceramics more than her own children, so that whenever we broke a piece, that we were punished so harshly. But the one thing I learned is that the ceramic was so connected to people's life, and my mom always changed the tablewares or vase or the pieces around us by the season. So she has this piece for the spring flowers or summer flowers or autumn flowers, and she always used different ceramics for different occasions. When I came to the United States 18 years ago, my English was less than qualified, and the community college I enrolled, there's a wonderful student coordinator who has a habit of putting all the international students into ceramic class, because her idea was that the monkeys see, monkeys do, so that you don't need the verbal communication skill. On the other hand, I always wanted to try ceramics, but that was very hard to come in Tokyo, Japan. Unless you are connected to those ceramic family or villages in Japan, it's almost impossible. Well, maybe nowadays it's much easier, but at the time that was very hard for me to find a venue. So when I came to the States, I was so excited to take the ceramic class.
My own background, I came from pretty much the standard middle-class neighborhood, suburbs of Philadelphia, and was pushed strongly to be a chemist because artists don't make a living. And after 2 years as a chem major, I realized I absolutely hated it and just wanted to drop out of school and go work on motorcycles. I went into fine arts. After I graduated from Westchester University outside Philadelphia, I went to Edinburgh for my teaching certification. While I was there, I had to take a jewelry class, and that was part of their teacher certification program. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. I was teaching in public school for a little while, and Sue Mandalore called me and said that they had a position for a graduate student for jewelry metals. Well, we both began working at the Armory Art Center in Florida at the same time, and we both didn't know anyone else, so we started hanging out and doing things together. And our first hurricane, Yoko was in an evacuation zone, so she had to evacuate. And I had this 3-bedroom house, so I was not in the evacuation zone, so I invited her to stay with me. And it was a hurricane romance.
Yeah, after the second hurricane and the third hurricane and the fourth hurricanes, we just gave up.
The human eye can notice so much variation, and a lot of it doesn't show up in photographs, but when you see it in person, you begin to realize that, yes, there is a small line there, and that small line, or an accent of a small circle, it's just about composition. It's about where the eye goes. There's no need to apply labels to it, to come up with elaborate titles about life, the universe, and everything. It simply is about form and composition, and just where do you place that one line, that one circle, square. And I guess I got into this when I was reading Kandinsky when I was in school, and how Kandinsky thought about composition and non-objective work. And I just really enjoyed that. It inspired me. And then Robert Irwin, just his thought, his thinking about painting, no matter what you think about his artwork, the paintings are, the thought process behind the work is absolutely brilliant.
When I started making the series, the Genuine Fake China series with the teapot, that teapot was the first one I made. I started with a concept that I wanted to make something to has a dual meaning, or just to unite the different cultures. I think that was 3 years ago or so, just after the presidential elections, and the world had been divided more than ever, and I wanted to remind people that how similar we are instead of how different we are. It's so easy to point out the differences and accuse each other for being different, but at the same time there's so many similarities that we share beyond time or age or gender or culture or race. Once in a while, I work as a volunteer translator, or I just enjoy books in 2 different languages, and I always see the different expression but having the same meaning, or there's so many cheeky expression or cliches that saying the same thing, and I wanted to use those expressions to ceramic piece to just to present how similar we are, and no matter when or where we are, that we always get useful things and share them together. So I'm gonna just give it a day and then touch it up, and they're gonna be good to go.
I'll try it. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, so how does this work? Center it?
Yes, it goes down. So hold it down gently and push it down. The clay decides, right?
I should decide, but I guess that part's over.
Not only. So
like
let's make one for your family and one for your dog and one for another dog, and we can make 30 pieces.
Oh, the
today.
ones for my dog will have to be huge.